Hey, good morning everybody, Legend here, and I'm coming at you from Knott's Berry Farm Theme Park here in Southern California. This video we're going to show you all around the park, from the rides to the shows to all the neat little things that Knott's Berry Farm has to offer. Love Knott's, it's going to be a good time. Let's go check things out. I do love right as you come into Knott's Berry Farm, you're greeted with this wonderful windmill type statue, and on your left, and then you have a big giant silver bullet roller coaster on the right. And you got a great photo op. You got Snoopy the Easter Beagle and Linus over there posing for pictures with guests. Really kind of a very cute entrance. One of the two best rides here at Knott's Berry Farm, for me personally, as a dark ride and a theming guy, is the Timber Mountain Log Ride. It's awesome, it's really long. You won't know, but you go on this incredible journey through the mountain with tons of animatronics and characters and drops. It's really good. Got redone a couple years by the guys at Garner Holt. Really put a lot of life back into it. One of the best log flumes in the country. I would say it's probably the best log flume in the country, not named Splash Mountain, but it's wonderful. It is absolutely 100%. I need to do this every time I come to the park. Another one of the classics here at Knott's Berry Farm is the Calico Mine Ride, and this is fantastic. It's an old-timey mine-themed dark ride. It's really long. They have some giant sets, like the big giant whole set is like, it's like 4 stories. Some older animatronics, some better animatronics, some neat effects. I love this ride. This and the log flume are my 2 favorite rides in the park by far. Normally not too long of a line for this one either, which is nice.
It's funny is we waited in line, now there is no line.
Exactly. But yeah, this one, if you're coming to Knott's, you got to do it. Right now we're at Silver Bullet, which is up near the front of the park. It's the park's B&M inverted roller coaster, and it's definitely not one of the best B&M inverted coasters, and definitely not one of the worst. It's just doing a test cycle now. I do like the color scheme on this ride. And then you get it goes over here where it does the big Cobra roll, which is right in the front of the park. It's one of the first things you see when you come in. This ride is kind of divisive, where your roller coaster people enjoy it because it's a big fun roller coaster, but your Knott's Berry Farm fanboys, they're not as big of a fan, as it kind of it makes what was a much prettier area of the park not quite as pretty. So depending on which side of the fence you're on, it'll all depend. But this is my favorite part of the ride here, where you get the big helix right over the lake. Getting your hop on Silver Bullet, and we noticed something that'll be exciting for you coaster nerds out there. I guess they have one of the B&M maintenance balls, and we had thought the only one that existed was on Dominator, but I guess they have one here on Silver Bullet. Right up by the front of the park is Ghost Rider, which is the park's marquee, their only wooden roller coaster. Kind of difficult to film, it's all the way over there. But this was a ride that was great when it first opened, then got really bad, and then GCI redid it, and now it's back to being really good.
So you're saying Adam didn't totally destroy it?
Adam did not totally destroy it. Totally destroyed it. No, I liked it. We rode in the back row. Yeah. It was freezing because it's about 50 degrees here. You did okay. Yeah. I have no jacket. I was very cold, but I had a lot of fun.
The airtime hill off, or the drop off of where the former mid-course was, where there's no mid-course
Oh
anymore.
yeah, that's crazy.
That was a great drop. A lot of good airtime. I love flying through the structure.
Yeah, that second half is so much better than the first half.
And what's cool about Ghost Rider is it has this giant superstructure, just because it's very hurricane.
No,
Earthquake.
wrong coast. That's where we'll be. We got back on the plane in 5 hours.
Earthquake-proof.
Earthquakey. That's the natural disasters over here.
Yeah.
But I approve.
Good stuff.
So one thing I really like here at Knott's Berry Farm is these cheesy ride safety videos they have before you get on a lot of their roller coasters. Let's go check out Voyage to the Iron Reef. Here you can see the ride vehicles for the Iron Reef, kind of unique ride vehicles. If you've been to some of the other Triotech rides like the Ninjago, they're kind of similar to that. The park's shooting dark ride, all 3D screen-based kind of stuff. Just got off the Voyage to the Iron Reef ride. It's good and bad. It's a fun ride. I've been on this before, and the effects sometimes work, sometimes don't. We got a pretty good ride this time, and I do like that it has so many nods to Knott's Berry Farm history and its old ride. I think that's kind of neat. Obviously, it's got some re-rideability with the shooting factor and competing against your friends. The bad, it doesn't feel like a Knott's Berry Farm ride. Like, it just doesn't fit into me. Drew, what are your thoughts on Iron Reef?
I won.
You did win. I also had to take out the camera to film halfway through, so we might have to rematch later. I do like how when you exit Iron Reef, it has these screens showing the scores from your ride, and then the top players of the year, I think, is really kind of neat as well. And it's all one guy.
I guess he works here.
me. Either he works here or he's here way too often, and he's very, very excited. And of course, like all rides, Iron Reef exits into a gift shop. So if you really enjoyed your experience, you could get all sorts of Iron Reef merchandise at this one table,
I was gonna say,
and then pop culture stuff everywhere else.
As the years have gone on, less and less Iron Reef stuff.
Yeah, but the ride's only 2 years old too. Interesting though, I got like ornaments, hats, collectible spoons, probably a bit of a weird choice. The banks are actually cool. Those are neat. Some neat mugs. So still pretty decent merchandise for a ride. Now the heart and soul of Knott's Berry Farm is Ghost Town. Right now you got the Boysenberry Festival going on, so you have a little bit more booths than normal, but it's filled with amazing photo ops and lots of stores to go and wander into, and the Pekins, and it's a place you could spend a ton of time in your park day, and it's really most people's favorite section of the park. Unless you're like a hardcore coaster boy, this will probably be your favorite part of Knott's Berry Farm. This along with the log flume and the mine ride.
To be fair, if you are a hardcore coaster boy, your favorite coaster is probably also in Ghost Town.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Ghost Rider.
They've got a shooting gallery. Look at that. Oh, it's an expensive shooting gallery. $5 or $3. It looks nice. Nice and old-timey shooting gallery. In Ghost Town is the blacksmith shop, which you could get your own. You could get personalized horseshoes or key rings. And the guy, you know, he takes the hammer, and just like in olden times, he takes it on, he'll bang it on out for you. It's really neat. I like folks that have this. You know, you got some really unique merchandise. And you get to watch him make it. Here he goes. Getting ready. And there you go, like right there on the anvil. How neat's that? More fun parts of the Knott's lore include the Catawampas, species extinct. You can find this guy in Ghost Town. Popular, got a cult following, like you can buy Catawampas t-shirts and all that kind of stuff at the park. More merchant style stuff in Ghost Town. This time it's a glass floor. You know, showing off his craft.
Right here.
Putting it in the big old furnace. So also in Ghost Town is this wonderful cemetery kind of thing. And the big tip is stand on the grave of Hiram McTavish, and you'll get quite the surprise, or tell your friends to do it because it's really wonderful. Love all the detail in the Ghost Town section of the park. Still in Ghost Town, it's home to the Calico Saloon, so you can wander in, push open the big old doors, and boom, there's a saloon. And not only that, you get drinks in here, and they put on a saloon show that we're going to see in a couple minutes.
Hey, the guy, if you were smart, you'd be a man to me. Go, man and woman, day and night.
Here you can see the Rio Grande Southern, the big Knott's Berry Farm steam train. It takes you on a round trip tour of the park, all through the back, but it's neat. Big timey train, fun looking train too. It's not your standard, you know, cheesy amusement park kind of train. It's a legit fun looking train in different kind of style of cars, which is always neat too. So one of the most unique rides here at Knott's Berry Farm, they have an old-timey stagecoach driven by horses, takes you around the park. Definitely one you want to get to when it opens. It opens at 11 or 12 depending on the park operating day. But I mean, how cool is that? I can't think of anywhere else where you can ride a stagecoach like that. How neat and old-timey. Here's the view on the stagecoach. We're up here on the top level. Really, really neat ride. You get a view of, takes you around Camp Snoopy, Vista Village, this road. Boulevard. Sorry, Californians. But it's neat. In the back of the Knott's Berry Farm is the Boardwalk section of the park, and as part of the Boardwalk is the Boardwalk Pier. This was new a couple of seasons ago, I believe about 4 or 5 years ago, and they moved the Scrambler over here. This was in the old Pacific location of the giant perilous plunge location at one point. So they took that out, they moved the Scrambler over here, they added some flyers, which are currently being worked on. And then you've got Coast Rider over here, which is an extended Wild Mouse. Wild Mouses are fun. Now, this is a ride that gets a lot of complaints from taller guests, as it's got some shin guards that are not too pleasant for them. With me only being 6 feet tall, I kind of enjoy it. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, Hang Time may or may not be finished. Hang Time is the new for 2018 Gerstlauer roller coaster. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Big beyond vertical drop, some wild loops. It's going to be lap bar only. It's going to have this ridiculous lighting package on it, so at night it's going to be really pretty. During the day, not so much, but the ride itself should be one of the best coasters in the park coming in summer of 2018. For the best view of Knott's Berry Farm, take a ride on the Sky Cabin in the back in the Boardwalk section of the park. Takes you up a good 150, 200 feet and gives you a great view of Knott's Berry Farm. And you can also see Disneyland off in the distance as well. What I like doing too is if you're here on a night where Disneyland has fireworks, go up there at fireworks time and you can see the Disneyland fireworks off in the distance. Supreme Scream is their triple SNS tower configuration here, sponsored by Honda. But today it's only running one out of the 3 towers, which is a total bummer. This is a ride that really should have no line and has a line because they're operating at a kind of a poorer capacity. It is, I believe, the tallest ride at Knott's Berry Farm, so you get quite a view from the top. You see them going all the way up there. Up they go. Almost at the top. Now they are at the top. And of course, with any trying to drop down ride, you gotta hang out there for a bit. And then boom, splash down. And bounce back up. And that is Supreme Scream, sponsored by Toyota. Toyota cars, right there in the queue. It wouldn't be a Cedar Fair Park without the Coasters Drive-In, and that's kind of your standard burgers, fries, and shakes. Probably not where I would recommend eating at Knott's Berry Farm. And I'm a fan of Midway games, and I love this. Check out the soccer challenge. We have to try to kick a ball past this goalie who moves and moves his arms. That's a fun game. A bit of a bummer of recent times here at Knott's Berry Farm, and that is Accelerator has been closed, and has been closed for quite a while. I know it went down in September of filming this video in March, so it's been down for a good 6 months or so, which is really kind of sad because I think this is probably my second favorite roller coaster at the park, and it's a wild time. So a ride not operating today, as you can see on this track here, that is the Pony Express. Reopens from its ride refurbishment tomorrow, and this is a kind of a unique roller coaster because you ride on top of little horses. And Drew, this is your favorite ride in the park, isn't it?
My favorite ride here. It's closed.
Yeah, which is a bit of a bummer. A very short roller coaster.
Yeah, I kind of wonder why they made it so short.
I just don't think they had any room back here.
Yeah.
But it's a neat ride. If you haven't been on one of those kind of riding style roller coasters, it's definitely something different for you. And but unfortunately down today. In the very back of the park is Bigfoot Rapids, the park's river raft ride. And I gotta say, these are not my kind of rides. Any ride that'll get you more than just a spritz is not for me. But they do have one if you're looking for it. It's in the back left corner of the park, towards the edge of Ghost Town. And I mean, it's not an ugly river raft ride, it's kind of a pretty looking ride. But these rides they're just not for me. What might be the weirdest attraction at Knott's Berry Farm is the Mystery Lodge. It is a Pepper's Ghost special effects show featuring Native Americans, and it's strange. It's really strange. I think it was a World's Fair thing that they moved here, and I've seen it before. It's weird. I would go sometimes, especially a day like today when it's chilly, but it's different, very, very different. Camp Snoopy is the park's kids area, and it's got this wonderful statue and a little crawl-through area at the entrance. Here we have Sierra Sidewinder, the park's family spinning coaster. Now, this coaster is kind of different, as you don't see a whole lot of coasters with this kind of train design. As far as spinning coasters go, I believe it's a mock or a Zamperla ride, one of those. And it's neat. It doesn't look like it's going to be wild, but it can give you a pretty wild ride depending on your spinning. Really fun, smooth little family attraction. But it's not a family ride you'll be embarrassed to ride. So if you go on the kids train ride, it's actually a full-size the Grand Sierra Road, which is located in Camp Snoopy. And there it's you actually go back some there's a really cute narration that plays, and some different props you go past. Like right now we're going past Olaf's House of Fun. So Camp Snoopy is also home to what I think is one of the prettiest sections of Knott's, where you've got this big kind of cave-type walkthrough with waterfalls and then a big running river. Camp Snoopy, most of it's filled with rather pedestrian, off-the-shelf style kids flat rides. So you've got your kite flyers and your rockin' tugs and things like that. But there's also some really cool stuff. Like I love that kids train ride, and taking a trip through caves is also kind of neat. They do have some wonderful details here in Camp Snoopy, like this big cuckoo clock is really neat. I also enjoy that in the back of Camp Snoopy you have like your traditional fairground style Ferris wheel. Don't see those at a lot of parks nowadays. Vista Village is the next section of the park. It's the Latin themed section, home to some flat rides and a couple of roller coasters. And here is Soul Spin, which is the newest ride here at the farm. And it's a Mondial top scan, the world's tallest Mondial top scan. And if you've never been on one of these before, it's actually really, really fun. Like Drew, you're not a big spin and puke guy. What do you think of these?
They're fine.
Yeah.
They don't make me sick, actually.
Yeah, which is always good. I also think it fits in well with the colorfulness. Oh, there goes somebody lost their hat. But I like these rides. I think it fits in well in this section of the park. This obviously replaced the old Windseeker spot. Also in this corner of Vista Village, over there you can find the park's carousel. And then their coaster over here is the Jaguar, which is kind of the park's mine train coaster, or their main family coaster. It's got 2 lifts, it's really long. It also has a really kind of a neat themed queue in this Mayan pyramid. And it takes you good over about half the park, I would say. It's a nice ride. The most classic of all the roller coasters here at Knott's Berry Farm is Montezuma's Revenge. I think it's the last one of these like short-stop shoulders in the country, right Drew?
I think so.
And you know, it's stuck here right in the start of Vista Village. Pretty simple ride. You launch here, you go through a loop, you go up a spike, you come back, you go through a loop, and then you go up another spike that's hidden by those trees.
But it's there.
But it's there. Trust us. Over here you have one of my favorite style of flat rides, the big inverted spinning frisbee style ride. And it's a pretty big one as far as like a lot of times there's only 6 carriages on there. It looks like this one has 8. These rides are a ton of fun. I really, really like them. This is the Hat Dance, which is the park's teacup ride, and I like it a lot. The ornateness of this ride is really well done. It's pretty. Not a big fan of that. They put a lot of people in that teacup. And then also in this section, you got some very much traditional flat rides with the swinging ship, as well as the big old wave swinger. So if you're a fan of flat rides, this is probably the best section of the park for you. Or if your kids like flat rides and things like that, come over to the Vista Village. In the back of the park is the Wheeler Dealer bumper cars, a big bumper car. Also kind of a weird layout with the circular layout. But these are in the back of the park over by Iron Reef and the big Charles Schultz Indoor Theater. Now, the best thing I could tell you as far as food goes at Knott's Berry Farm, I love eating at the Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant. It is outside the park in the marketplace area, but it's a fantastic meal. You get like all these different courses for like 20 bucks. It's the only reason my girlfriend enjoys going to Knott's Berry Farm or agrees to go on some of these trips, but I love it. It's a wonderful dinner.
Yeah, it's kind of weird we're not eating that there.
Yeah, it's because we went to the Boysenberry Festival.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm full now.
I'm full too.
One thing I love about when you come into Knott's Berry Farm, there are just chickens kind of wandering around. Chickens. Fun times. Not many theme parks could say that. I do love me a good theme park arcade, and Knott's does have one over here, right underneath the Voyage to the Iron Reef attraction. And I'm a guy that I could totally come and spend a good 20 bucks in an arcade, win myself some dumb prize. But they actually have a lot of very modern games. You got Beanbag Toss over there. You've got Let's Bounce, Down the Clown, Fishbowl Frenzy. Baseball Pro's an awesome game. So it's a very, very up-to-date arcade, which is always good to see. Towards the front of the park, you'll see a bunch of these little booths featuring models of different missions around the California area. And this is, I guess they added this last year as a throwback to something they had when the park was in its much earlier stages. So if you're into that kind of thing, there's a whole bunch of these. Over here you have what's normally a fountain, but now it's done up for, I guess, springtime in the park, and it's done up really, really pretty. I love the way this looks. I'm guessing the fountain's turned off because they are building the new roller coaster right nearby. But, you know, from something that's not a fountain to being a planter, it looks great. See, they've got some really weird merchandise here at Knott's. We've got shirts, multiple shirts for the Catawampas. Even he got its own mug and hat. 2 multiple hats. His own line of candy for some reason. And then over here, right next door, you've got a line dedicated to Brutus the Mule. So definitely some points for some creative merch here at Knott's. If you're into history and that kind of thing, on the way out, the big gift shop in the marketplace area, tons. They've got a big giant timeline sort of going through the park and its history, and you got big maps and posters. It's kind of neat if you're a dork like us. Let's go visit the town jail.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Down a back alley here in Ghost Town, you find the town jail, which is apparently this building. And let's go see what's going on.
Howdy, all.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Sad-Eye Joe.
Hi, Sad-Eye Joe.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. So, my golly, Jay, we got the legend over here.
Uh-oh. Hi, Joe.
Andrew.
Hi.
Hi.
We got the legend and Drew. Legend's drinking his beer.
Yeah.
How's your day going, old Sad Joe?
Well, it ain't going too bad. I mean, I'm getting a lot of folks coming by to visit me. That makes my day go good all the time.
Anybody giving you some of that good boysenberry stuff?
Oh, I wish I get some of those boysenberries, man. I've been seeing people walking by with boysenberry punch, boysenberry ribs. I even seen somebody look like it might have been beer.
That's what I got right here, Joe.
Oh, boy, that looks like it is so refreshing.
It's pretty good, Joe.
Sorry for your luck, Joe.
Once you get out, Joe, go get you one, all right?
All right, sounds great to me.
All right. Good times, Joe.
Okay, you have a great day, too.
Gotta go visit old Sad Joe. That's one of the classic things to do at Knott's Berry Farm. Especially if you take people that haven't gone to see old Sad Joe, they wouldn't know that it's like an interactive character.
That's neat.
It's so neat. And that'll do it for our time here at Knott's Berry Farm. And guys, let me tell you, I really like this park. It's hard to describe Knott's Berry Farm. It's part amusement park with all the roller coasters and the flat rides. It's part theme park with your dark rides and things like that. And then it's part museum too with your ghost town and your exhibits. Really like this park. I think it's a lot of fun. It's and then the boysenberry punch. We were here during the boysenberry festival, so that was a blast. And thanks for watching.